This is a side-by-side of Barry and A-Rod. I thought I'd be better to compare them, that if I made A-Rod here into a left-handed batter, make it easy to compare their swings. Before we start a discussion of their pre-launch movements, noted that Michael G. Posted a post on the board where he suggests that it's the high leg kick of a batter that allows them to generate or facilitate power and bat speed. And I thought it'd be interesting to ask then, if we cycle through this, we can see here, that A-Rod does. So this is a 2007. Pardon me. This is a 2003 version of his swing. I noted today in 2007 he's eliminated his high kick. But anyway, when we look at this, we can see now that he does have a very high kick as we compare that to Barry here now. So one might ask if, in fact, a high leg kick is what facilitates power and bat speed. Well, where does Barry get his? Obviously, he don't have a high leg kick or anything, and also why would A-Rod then decide to eliminate the high leg kick in 2007, where he's having a great year, and go with a more conventional type approach with a lead leg? Now let's take a look at the two batters' pre-launch movements. Now I refer to this as pre-launch because it all occurs well before they start shoulder rotation. So when we see the movement of the bat head now in both Barry and A-Rod, what is causing the bat head now to follow its trajectories at this point during pre-launch is occurring with the arms. Notice that there is no movement of the shoulders or anything to facilitate in getting the bat head to move. So I refer to this as a pre-launch torque, because basically it's a movement of the hand and the arm placing torque at the handle. It's causing the bat head now to move. All right, so let's cycle them on forward here during the pre-launch, and notice that here they're both getting into the higher forward movement of the bat. And now then we'll start them, and you'll see the hands start coming back toward the normal launch position here. All right, now they're almost at the launch position. Now, the point I want to make here is RQL is whether the batter holds his hands high or low has a great bearing now on the motion of the bottom hand. The way you described in your post is very accurate for Barry here. You can see it's that push up of that bottom hand. But now noticing with A-Rod over here, he keeps the bottom hand pretty well up already, so that here it's more or less, as he's preparing his launch position, it's a function now of more of the top hand pulling back, other than the bottom hand being pushed up as we saw there with Barry. And then, of course, from this point on, once we get in here into the launch position, here is what I was talking about now in my post, where I was talking about the application of THT other than pre-launch torque, because now we not only have the arms involved, now then we're starting to get the whole power of the whole body into starting those hands around. The shoulder rotation is starting them. The pull on that bottom hand, as I described, is coming around and forward. And to cause this bat head now to accelerate rearward, that we see here, the top hand has to be applying that rearward force here to really get the bat to moving here from this position. So that basically is the difference in our discussion. We had a little confusion where one of us was, in your case, you were discussing the pre-launch movements, and I was discussing the forces applied once the shoulder started rotating. Now, I kind of hope that clears that up a little bit. I'd like to make one more point here. In there we talked a lot about top hand torque, accelerating the bat rearward, and then I mentioned in my post then about bottom hand torque then accelerating the bat from the lag position onto contact. And I think we can see here, look at their lead shoulders. Notice that it's a pull of that lead shoulder pulling on the knob end of the bat through the bottom hand that is actually really accelerating that bat from the lag position now around. Notice that their back arm hardly moves. It just rotates with the body, as you can see here. So the real pull now is coming from, and the torque is being applied as the bottom hand now, yes, it's going to be driven forward, as we can see here, by rotation of the body. Notice the elbow didn't hardly move at all in either case, if we can see here. So what is actually causing the torque that really supplies great power at contact now is the rotation of this lead shoulder through the lead arm, and that's why it's got to maintain a solid angle to be able to give a good solid pull to contact here. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about bottom hand torque.